Welcome to the Brownwood Lions Coaches Show here on KOXC. It is a special Thursday edition. I am Derek Stuckley. I am joined by Brownwood ISD Assistant Superintendent and Acting Athletic Director Mitch Moore. And we will get to our normal discussion about Lions and Lady Lions athletics here shortly. But first of all, of course, Sammy Burnett's not here. He's been a fixture on the show. But of course, Monday night at the school board meeting, Coach Burnett's contract was not renewed by the Board of Trustees. Of course, I know you weren't at the meeting Monday night, but let you give a chance to give your comments.
Oh, no, I had actually traveled to attend the girls' playoff basketball game, but I was able to watch or listen. I didn't watch and drive. I listened as I was driving back. There was a big crowd. It was some emotional times. Their board is a elected group of officials, and so they listened to, I think, the public comment, and then they made their decision based on that. I think interesting evening for sure.
Yeah. Of course, my understanding that Dr. Young recommended to the board that they extend Coach Burnett's contract, but the board obviously felt that by a 4-3 vote, it was time to go in a different direction.
Yes, Dr. Young's been clear in his statements about his recommendation, and that again is the board has they are elected officials and they have constituents that they answer to, and so they made a decision based on their constituents and who they talk to, and so yes, Dr. Young's been consistent on what his recommendation was, and so that's kind of the process. It's I don't have a whole lot of comment, but yeah, that's the process that we went through.
Right. And of course, the past few weeks leading up to this, Coach Burnett had no longer been serving as athletic director. The decision was made to split athletic director and head football coach. What can you say about that?
Yes, that's kind of been in motion for over a year. Coach Burnett has been in conversations with myself and Dr. Young, and that's kind of where few more schools are going to this day. There's becoming such an administrative burden on athletic directors with just budgets and just day-to-day operations, UIL things, and we just continue to discuss the advantages of allowing the head football coach to really focus on his sport, and just like other coaches get that. And Coach Burnett was in conversation with us about that for like a year and over a year, and he understood that, and he was good with that. Coach Burnett and I have a great relationship. We go back a long ways. He's my friend, and so he understood kind of the reasoning behind it, and offering that we were wanting to help him and take some things off his plate. So, during the football season, it's a grind, and there's other things going on, and so me being able to help take some of that off his plate, I was happy to do that because I saw it as a help for him. Also, in the spring, when spring football things get going again, and there's quite a bit going on in the spring, he's out a lot, and this would allow him to be with those players and leading, and so I think he was on board. I was on board to help make that transition. I'm kind of the other duty as a sign guy, and so but happy to do it. And I guess my background from one, I've been here for 30 years and worked with a lot of coaches, been a coach, also been in administration, so I've kind of been both sides. So the administrative duties, to be able to take on those are what I've been doing. And then my love for athletics is, something I thought Dr. Young thought I could, help this and make this transition work. So,
okay. Of course, there has been a lot of feedback on social media. I know there's an online petition. With that being said, is there any possibility this matter comes back up before the board, or is this a final decision?
Well, I think that is a board will have to make that decision. That is not a district decision. So any kind of looking at something again would be on the board to bring it back up. And so I can't answer that other than that's my understanding. The board would have to bring that back on the agenda.
Okay. Of course, as we mentioned, Coach Burnett's contract is not up till the end of next school year. So with that said, what is his status now and going forward with the school district?
Well, currently he does have 1 year. I mean, he's still on contract this year and the remainder of the year. I sat down with him early this week and spent some time with him. There is not a definite plan for him right now with the district. We'll be looking at that in the future. We will be looking for a new head coach. That was part of that decision on Monday night by the board. So at this time, no specifics on what Sammy will be doing, but we'll be talking to him next week. He's going to come see me, and we'll be having some discussions. And it won't be all my decision, but we'll be it won't be mine. But Dr. Young will be visiting with him and getting a plan for moving forward with his role with the district moving forward.
Right. Of course, with a head coaching change, there's also assistant football coaches that come into play. I guess, what is their status at this point?
Well, each teacher coach has their own individual contract, so they are not linked to a head coach's contract. They stand alone. There are a lot of motions going on, and for good reason. These guys come here, they're hired by Coach Burnett. Some have come new with him. Some were here before. Within the coaching world, this happens. So they'll be making the decisions what's best they feel like for their professional careers, for their families. And we want that. I did speak briefly with the coaching staff along with Coach Burnett on Tuesday morning. My support for them is still my support. I still support coaches, have my entire career, and we'll be. I'll be talking to some of them in the near future with all of them, and so they'll have to make some decisions. We have good coaches. We want them to stay. We want them to be in Brownwood working with our kids, but at the same time, they have to make some decisions, what they want to do. And this is, some of them were hired by Coach Burnett, like I said, some were here before. And so it's an emotional time of it. When any kind of change happens, it's difficult. And so, I want them to take care of themselves, their families, and we want to support them in their decisions. But again, they all have individual contracts that are separate from a head coach, and so the vote on that contract does not necessarily, that doesn't directly have a vote on their contract.
Right. Okay. As far as a new head football coach for the 2025 season, when does that search begin? What does that process look like?
Well, we have not started anything. Dr. Young and I will be visiting soon, daily, and we will come up with a plan and a plan moving forward. But as of now, nothing has been developed or issued out or put out. We're kind of just taking care of the things right now that we need to take care of, but that we'll be developing a plan in the near future, and I'll be happy to share that as we move forward.
Right. And then going forward, the next head football coach, will he be head football coach and athletic director, or will those two positions be split?
My understanding as of now, they will remain split because the same reasoning we were wanting to support Coach Burnett as the head football coach only, it would be the same for the incoming person. And also I'll remain in that role for the foreseeable future. But again, the same reasons I gave, we want a focus, each head coach to get the focus on their sport. I'll quote Sammy Burnett, I guess, to be a master of their craft. And so that is, we'd like to continue that. And so I believe that will be the direction, that's my understanding, and I believe that'll be the direction we go.
Okay. Anything else you want to say on this matter, or do you want to move on to some sports?
No, I mean, it's emotional time, and Sammy's my friend. So.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll switch gears a little bit here. We'll talk about some of the sports that are going on, and I see you have a list over there, so I'll let you go from there.
I attended the golf tournament yesterday. It was cold.
It was.
It's
cold today, too.
I'm a fair weather fan.
Yes.
If you remember, I'm a soccer coach.
Yes. I remember well.
And I didn't fare well in those cold times. In fact, I was telling a parent the other day how I actually caught on fire during a soccer game because I stood too close to one of those heaters.
I missed that game.
Yeah, it was at Abilene Cooper.
That would have been a wonderful picture.
I burned my sweats, and one of the players was like, "Coach Moore, you're on fire." And I go, "Be quiet, I'm not on fire," because I had tights on. Literally, I was on fire, and so it was. I didn't get close to heaters, but our boys' golf team finished fourth. I think you said it on the radio this morning as a team, and then Caleb Modwell finished first as top medalist, so that was great. Our girls competed earlier in the week at Llano, and they had a couple of sick players, or at least one, and so they came in seventh, I believe, but we're missing maybe one or two. And then I guess from last week too, both soccer teams beat Little River Academy.
Yeah, that's hard to say.
Yeah. Both boys and girls both won 7-0 for the boys and 4-0 for the girls. So it was a good night for soccer. And so as of kind of the past week, today our Lady Lions softball team headed to Stephenville. So they'll be playing 5 games in 3 days. And again, it's the coldest day. It's softball, baseball weather because it's ready to go. Yeah. And then both the track meets in Wall and Weatherford were called off today due to weather. So they didn't travel today, but powerlifting is at Abilene Wiley this afternoon. So things like going on, and then Friday night, boys and girls soccer both go to Gatesville.
Yeah, and girls soccer is 2-0 in district, so they're off to a good start. Boys soccer picked up their first district win, so
that's good.
They're rolling right along. You mentioned Caleb Modwell. He shot around to 70. I can shoot that on 9 holes.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. And then I think London, England led the girls again Monday. She shot
88, I think. Yeah, so, right. So it's good. So,
they're rolling right along. Saturday also, we have the James Crow Baseball Alumni game.
Yeah, it's great. I won't be playing.
Are you going to be in the home run derby?
No.
Come on.
Pull some muscle. Have you ever fielded a ground ball with progressive lenses? It is not friendly.
Yeah, since I've got glasses, I haven't tried to field a ball.
It is not. I did it one time, and it was scary because that ball comes in at different. No, it was scary, but no, excited about that. I'm teamed up with the Crow family a few years ago, and I think it's been great to honor James's legacy through baseball. He was a pitcher, first baseman, and he was quite the presence on the mound. And so excited that we developed this relationship, and all the funds go back to Brownwood High School and scholarship each year for a senior. And so I think that is phenomenal that the Crow family does that. And so, I encourage you to come out. I think they're having a little line something camp at 10, home run derby at 11, and the game at 12. And then anything auctioned off, all the proceeds will go to the Memorial Scholarship in James's name, which is a phenomenal deal. And so, and thankful for the Crow family to give back to seniors at BHS when they graduate.
And of course, speaking of baseball, brand new field this year.
Yeah, it was great. We still got a few things to finish up. The parking lot will, we get some good weather, we'll get it paved and striped, but it is open to park in this weekend. The base is fine, and then you've got sidewalks to the park now. It's just kind of muddy if you get off the sidewalks because we're still working on landscaping, but it was great the other night. The scrimmage was supposed to be in San Angelo, and it was raining, and we said, hey, you can come to Brownwood.
Because it's usually been the other way around.
Exactly, because our field's not flooding, and we're in good shape.
Yeah.
And so they came over here and scrimmaged earlier in the week. So I was like, shoot, yeah, that's great. We don't have to worry about rain. So what a blessing. Thank you for the taxpayers that, they made that happen. And the citizens of Brownwood made that happen. And without them, this wouldn't have happened. So.
Well, I've got you here and talking about bond stuff. I guess what kind of updates can you give us on some of the stuff going on?
So the bond, things are rocking and rolling. The stadium, if you haven't driven by, I'd encourage you to drive by. You can't tell much, but the slab was poured for the new restroom concession area, which will also house a little Gordonwood Hall of Champion room, which I'm excited about. That on home football games we'll be able to open that up, and the plaques for the members will be on display, so anybody can go in there and kind of see who's been inducted into that. So that's part of that thing, and so I'm excited about that, to work with the board of directors with the Hall of Champions on that. And so that's one thing that's right next to the concession restroom, and so it'll be open every Friday night. I think that's exciting, that because not that it's not great at the depot, but it's a little different. So it won't be all the museum stuff, but at least you'll get to see the honorees, and they'll be recognized there. And so that's going good. Plan is on to have opened up for football, everything but the press box. Middle school is rocking along. It's just what a mess it was, and I'm so grateful that our middle school athletes will get to have new facilities when we start school, and right now that's on track, and that locker room will be, showers will work, lockers will be new. I'm excited for middle schoolers, and so those guys and girls are really troopers right now, because they're displaced. They don't have a locker room. They're in different places throughout the school. So kudos to our young 7th and 8th graders for being, hanging in there and doing the best they can without a locker room and things. So excited for them. And then, of course, the indoor, it's just moving, and so
I think that thing gets bigger and bigger by the day.
Yeah, I'll have trouble. I call everything the indoor.
Yeah,
but it's multi-purpose, multi-activity center purpose, or whatever. I can't remember exactly what it's called.
We need a fancy nickname for that thing.
So MAC, it's the MAC.
The MAC, okay.
And so, that's. It just keeps. It's coming, and what a blessing that'll be for on a day like today. So cold that you track, soccer, baseball, softball, tennis. You can pretty much handle everything. And so again, thank you to the citizens of BISD that were willing to just go out and put vote for that and make that a better place. That it's because of the people in Brownwood that did that, and I understand that, and I appreciate it. As do all of us, I believe, in the school district.
Definitely. Anything else you want to talk about today, sir?
No, I think I'll be here, coming for a while. I'll keep informed what I know. I will be happy to share, and we'll keep talking about lady lines, and our middle school athletes. They've started track practice, and so. They're out, cold with their sweats, running and developing, and so I always want to think about those 7th and 8th graders and how, developing them into future athletes too. And so, but I'll be here. I'll keep you updated the best I can on the what's next. And so, appreciate the support for everyone, for our coaching staff and Coach Burnett. I appreciate that support for him, and we'll keep pushing forward.
Right. Well, obviously, we want to definitely thank the sponsors for the show, and as Mitch Moore mentioned, we will continue. The Brownwood Lions Coach Show will be here every Monday and Wednesday at 5:30 here on KOXE, KOXE.com, and the KOXE app. So we will see everyone again on Monday.